Alright. I was debating, after only getting two episodes into the second season of Uncensored, whether to continue the fucking series or not. But, and I know it's been a long time since I've released a new episode, and we're still in Season 2. Yeah, this is going to be an extra long season. Actually, it's going to be an extra short season. But I'm going to do 4 more episodes before we start calling it Season 3 or stop doing it altogether. Because to be honest, I've moved on to other projects, and like I said, I was beginning to wonder if Uncensored was still relevant. After seeing, and this is going to be the most controversial fucking episode of Uncensored in the history of Uncensored. This is going to knock your socks off. We have an actual candidate running for Congress in Virginia. I am not fucking making this up. Wants to fucking legalize incest. And no, I do not mean consensual sexual relations between cousins that are 18 years of age or older. Yes, that's still a bad idea. No, I wouldn't have a fucking problem with consensual sex between anyone over the age of 18. Fuck, I'm the guy who's written a book where there's a character who simultaneously has a boyfriend and a girlfriend. None of them are biologically related to each other. But this guy, okay, his name's Nathan Larson. He's running in Northern Virginia. And yes, there's a TV running in the background. Bite me. Oh, and I've gotten a new, my new camera. Actually, this is from a $50 phone, still. $50 phones are still getting better in terms of cameras. But that's not the point. Okay. So the CBS affiliate in Washington, D.C. ran a story on this guy a couple weeks ago. And it's come to my attention. Yeah, his name's Nathan Larson. He's a pedophile and a white supremacist who is running for Congress. As if these aren't bad enough. According to their website, he says he wants to restore liberty and legalize incest for personal freedom. What the fuck, people? I mean, this is like a... I'm neither conservative nor liberal. I'm more or less of a middle-of-the-road guy, and we got an ad going off. I'm gonna stop that for now. Okay, so just to clarify, this guy thinks, quote, the state should not interfere with people's decisions, like if people were to say, well, the genetic quality might not be as good if people inbreed. They could say the same thing about a lot of people who have bad genetics who should be passing on. These days, there's a lot of genetics tests. We can tell what kind of things people have. Okay, I'm surprised he didn't try to play into some bullshit white supremacy thing with that if he's a white supremacist, because they tend to think that people who look like me are genetically superior, and no, you're all just a bunch of fucking white bitches. On a side note, white bitch is probably a hilarious insult to direct at anybody, whether they're white or not. and then feel free to comment back on this. If you're not white, are you more offended by a racial slur? Would you be more offended by a racial slur? Or if somebody were to call you a white bitch? I'm just totally fucking curious on that. Because I kind of have my suspicions on this one. I'm not going to say what my suspicions are, but I'm not afraid to ask crazy-ass questions like this. But I totally am a white bitch, so... Anyway. Pardon me. So, yeah. So they asked him, what about the children's rights? Children cannot consent to sex with an adult. Now this answer is going to take the fucking cake. Because according to WUSA, Larson said, well, like with girls, this is quote, well, like with girls, I believe that it should be for fathers to make those decisions. I believe in the patriarchal order. What the fuck? Is this some sort of Gilead bullshit or something? This guy's... Commanders in The Handmaid's Tale haven't said anything this fucked up yet. He believes that a father should be able to decide whether or not to have sex with his daughter, and he wants to be a congressman. This man needs to be on the end of a fucking noose, swinging from his fucking tiny-ass dick. Not in the goddamn Congress. Actually, all white supremacists need to be rounded up, hung, actually all racists everywhere. But the white supremacists, I mean, let's be honest, they are far more dangerous. They need to be rounded up and hung or shot. Fuck their freedom of speech. Fuck the Bill of Rights. Maybe I should run for Congress again. Although I never actually officially did, I just came close. Now this guy has a daughter from a previous marriage, but he lost custody of her. He said he never had sex with his daughter, but he wants to. What the fuck? He said he could not understand how incest or raping children could be harmful to them. Are you fucking kidding me? The law doesn't treat them as having the full rights as adults, he said. Quote, the law doesn't treat them as having the full rights as adults. Now, being a children's rights guy, I mean, I don't even believe in spanking kids, let alone having sex with them. Unlike the guy who puts comments on my videos asking me if I've thought about killing myself, and I notice he puts things on Just Curious that say Heil Hitler, telling people to check out his channel. I wonder if maybe that's actually Nathan Larson. I don't know. Oh, and Larson does not think that wives should be allowed to accuse their husbands of rape. Okay, maybe it's because I have written a book 2 books in a series called Nobody's Property. which largely pertains to human rights to some degree. Unless you're a racist, sexist pedophile, in which case that character gets brutally murdered. Well, not murdered because it's self-defense. Yikes. What has our fucking country come to? When assholes like this are potentially legitimate candidates for Congress, instead of dead and buried in the ground or hanging from a piece of rope, no. And anybody who votes for this asshole should be hanged with him. Okay, I don't support democracy entirely. Sue me. Actually, I do support democracy, but I don't support allowing... I don't support absolute democracy. Allowing assholes like this to run who could potentially destroy real freedom. Alright, you can't have freedom for everyone. There comes a time, and pardon me, if the air conditioner is going, I've got to have it running this time of year, or I will not have a voice. But I'll bet this guy's pro-spanking. I'll bet he was spanked as a kid. Seriously, if people are stupid enough to elect assholes like this fall, I'm figuring out a way to leave the country on political asylum. Or I'm going to try anyway. Because if you think shows like The Handmaid's Tale aren't potentially warnings, maybe not of that particular scenario, but we have people now running for Congress who think like that. And they have to be stopped. And by stopping them, I don't mean go out and blow these people's brains out. Okay, if you harm these assholes, you only martyrize them unless you have the power of taking over the government so you can hang them. Taking over the government by legal means, winning elections. Because if assholes like this are running, there's a chance for assholes like me to defeat them in elections and get laws passed where we could put child molesters, racists, child abusers, anybody who commits homicide as a result of child abuse on death row. And yes, I do support the death penalty for child abuse. Well, homicide resulting for child abuse. Mandatory 25 to life. First offense, even if homicide was not the intent. Intent should not be a prerequisite. People who are stupid enough to kill a kid as a result of child abuse are too stupid to be among the general population. I'm sure Nathan Larson would take issue with that. But I would probably take issue with his face, and while I might not support corporal punishment, my opposition to corporal punishment does not apply to people over the age of 18 who aren't my kid. I don't have kids at the moment. Not the point. TV's running. Okay, so this is a parody now. For educational purposes only. Anyway. Fuck child abusers. Fuck people who support legalizing non-consensual rape. Fuck Nathan Larson. Fuck you if you're voting for him. And I hope people are not that stupid. That's all I've got for now. Later. Peace and love. Bye.